Picture this. You wake up in the morning and the house is silent. No voices, no movement, just you and the ticking clock. Your children? They have their own families now. Your friends? Some have moved away, others are too busy. And you? You sit there sipping your coffee, wondering, is this how it's supposed to be? Aging brings many changes, and one of the hardest is realizing that the support system you once relied on is no longer the same. But here's the thing, it doesn't have to be this way. You are not powerless. 5 essential pillars can transform your life after 60. These pillars will give you security, independence, and even happiness, and once you understand them, you'll never look at your future the same way again. So let's dive in and uncover what truly matters. Let's be honest, most people assume that family will always be there, and that when they reach old age, their children or loved ones will take care of them. It is a comforting thought, but is it realistic? Life happens. Kids grow up, build their own families, and get caught up in their responsibilities. Friends? Some move away, others become too busy, and a few may no longer be around. Even if your family loves you, they may not always have the time, energy, or resources to support you in the way you expect. That is the reality many people face after 60. But here is the good news. You are not powerless. You do not have to sit back and hope that someone will take care of you. You can take control of your future by building your own foundation of security and independence. And how do you do that? Through 5 key pillars that will determine whether your later years are full of struggle or full of strength. These pillars are not abstract ideas, they are practical, actionable, and essential for anyone who wants to thrive instead of merely surviving. We are talking about your health, your finances, your sense of purpose, your mindset, and your community. The sooner you start strengthening these pillars, the better your future will be. So let's break it down, step by step, and see exactly how you can create a life of stability, dignity, and happiness after 60. Let's talk about the one thing that can make or break your entire future, your health. If your body stops working, everything else falls apart. Your independence, your ability to enjoy life, even your finances. Without good health, you are left relying on others, and let's be real, no one wants to be in that position. Yet so many people ignore their health until it is too late. Think about it. How many times have you heard someone say, "I will start exercising tomorrow," or "I will eat better next week"? Next thing they know, years have passed and suddenly, walking up a flight of stairs feels like climbing a mountain. That is how it happens. Not overnight, but little by little, choice by choice. The good news? It is never too late to turn things around. You do not have to train for a marathon or live on salads, but you do need to start taking care of the only body you have. So let's break it down into 3 key areas: movement, nutrition, and rest. First, movement. Your body was made to move, yet so many people stop being active as they get older. They sit more, move less, and then wonder why their joints hurt and their muscles weaken. The truth is, the less you move, the harder it becomes to stay active. Walking is one of the simplest, most effective ways to maintain mobility and strength. You do not have to run miles or lift heavy weights. Just start by walking every day. Even 10 to 15 minutes can make a huge difference. Strength training is another game changer. You do not have to lift like a bodybuilder, but keeping your muscles strong is crucial for maintaining balance and preventing falls. Falls are one of the biggest health risks for older adults, and the best way to prevent them is by keeping your body strong. Next, let's talk about food. You have probably heard the phrase, "You are what you eat." Well, it is true. Your body runs on what you put into it. If you fuel it with junk, processed foods, too much sugar, unhealthy fats, do not be surprised if it starts breaking down. Instead, think of food as medicine. Choose real, whole foods that nourish you. Fresh fruits, vegetables, lean proteins, healthy fats. These are what your body needs to thrive, and hydration, essential. Many health issues, from fatigue to joint pain, can be linked to dehydration, so drink more water. Your body will thank you for it. Lastly, let's talk about rest. Sleep is not just about feeling rested, it is when your body repairs itself. Poor sleep has been linked to memory problems, weakened immune function, and even a higher risk of chronic diseases. Yet so many people treat sleep like an afterthought. A good night's rest starts with good habits. Limit screen time before bed, create a relaxing nighttime routine, and make sure your sleep environment is comfortable and quiet. These small changes can lead to huge improvements in how you feel every day. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. I am too old to change. My body is already too weak. It is too late. But let me tell you something. It is never too late. I have seen people in their 70s and even 80s completely transform their health just by making small, consistent changes. There is a story about a man named Robert who was 75 years old. He had spent years avoiding exercise, eating whatever he wanted, and ignoring the warning signs his body was giving him. Then, after a serious health scare, he decided enough was enough. He started small, a short walk around the block, swapping out processed foods for healthier options, going to bed earlier. Within 6 months, his energy improved, he could walk longer distances without pain, he felt like himself again. And it all started with one decision: to take control of his health. So let me ask you this: what is one thing you can do today to improve your health? Maybe it is committing to a short daily walk. Maybe it is drinking more water. Maybe it is making a better food choice at your next meal. Whatever it is, start today. Your future self is counting on you, and trust me, you will never regret taking care of your health. But you will regret ignoring it. Let's talk about something that makes a lot of people uncomfortable: money. No one likes to think about running out of money, especially after retirement, but here is the reality. If you are not prepared financially, life after 60 can be much harder than it needs to be. The truth is that money gives you freedom, it gives you choices, it gives you the ability to live on your own terms. And yet, so many people enter their later years without a solid financial plan. Let me ask you this: if you stopped working today, how long could you survive on what you have saved? Would it be 1 year, 5 years, forever? If you do not like your answer, do not panic. There is always a way to improve your financial situation, no matter where you are starting. One of the biggest mistakes people make is assuming that Social Security or a pension will be enough. It might help, but it is rarely enough to cover all your expenses, especially with rising healthcare costs. Relying solely on government assistance is risky because it does not account for unexpected situations. Medical bills, home repairs, inflation, these things add up quickly. So what can you do? Let's break it down into 3 key areas: saving, investing, and managing expenses. First, saving. It does not matter how old you are, it is never too late to start saving. The goal is to create a financial cushion so that you are not living paycheck to paycheck or worrying about every unexpected bill. Even setting aside a small amount each month can make a difference over time. Now let's talk about investing. A lot of people think investing is only for the wealthy, but that is not true. Even small investments can grow over time and help you secure your future. Stocks, bonds, real estate, there are many ways to make your money work for you. The key is to start and to be consistent. Think about it this way. Imagine 2 people. One saves a little money under their mattress every month. The other invests that same amount into a retirement fund. 10 years later, who do you think will have more? The one who let their money grow. Managing expenses is just as important as saving and investing. A lot of people live beyond their means without realizing it. Maybe it is eating out too often, paying for subscriptions they do not use, or simply not keeping track of where their money is going. A simple budget can help you see exactly where your money is going and where you can cut back. Another thing to consider is debt. Debt is a silent killer of financial security. If you are carrying a mortgage, credit card debt, or loans into retirement, it can eat away at your savings faster than you expect. Prioritizing debt repayment now can save you years of financial stress later. Let me share a story about a woman named Linda. She retired at 62, thinking she had enough to live comfortably. She had a pension, some savings, and Social Security. but she also had credit card debt and an expensive lifestyle. Within 5 years, she was struggling. Linda had two choices: downsize and adjust her spending, or go back to work. She chose to get serious about her finances. She downsized to a smaller home, created a budget, and got rid of unnecessary expenses. Within 3 years, she was back on track and living without financial stress. What is the lesson here? You have to be honest with yourself about your financial situation. Do not wait until you are struggling to make a plan. So, where do you start? First, take a look at your finances. What do you own? What do you owe? How much are you spending? If you do not know the answers, that is your first step. Figure it out. Then, make a plan. If you need to save more, start today. Even small amounts add up over time. If you have debt, make a plan to pay it off. If you have not invested, talk to a financial advisor or do some research on safe investment options. Your financial future is in your hands. No one else will secure it for you. So let me ask you, what is one thing you can do today to improve your financial security? Maybe it is reviewing your budget. Maybe it is opening a savings account. Maybe it is learning more about investing. Whatever it is, start now. Your future self will thank you. Let's talk about something that people often overlook after retirement: purpose. For decades, your identity may have been tied to your job, your family, or your responsibilities. But what happens when those roles change or disappear? Many people enter retirement excited about their free time, only to find themselves feeling lost, unmotivated, or even depressed. That is because having a sense of purpose is not just important, it is essential for happiness and longevity. Think about it. Have you ever noticed that people who stay mentally and physically active tend to live longer and enjoy life more? It is no coincidence. Purpose gives you a reason to wake up in the morning. It gives your life direction. Without it, days blend into each other and life starts to feel empty. So, how do you find purpose after 60? Let's break it down into 3 key areas: learning, contributing, and enjoying. First, learning. You are never too old to learn something new. Whether it is a new language, a musical instrument, or even gardening, keeping your brain engaged keeps you sharp and energized. Studies show that lifelong learning can reduce the risk of cognitive decline and improve overall well-being. Imagine this: a man named John retired at 65. At first he enjoyed the freedom, but after a few months he started feeling restless. He missed the structure of work. Instead of letting himself sink into boredom, he decided to take up painting, something he had always wanted to do but never had time for. Within a year, he had not only improved his skills but also made new friends through an art class. The lesson? It is never too late to pick up something new. Next, contributing. One of the most fulfilling things you can do after 60 is give back. This could mean volunteering at a local shelter, mentoring younger generations, or even helping out in your community. The key is to use your experience and wisdom to make a difference. A woman named Linda spent her entire career in education. After retiring, she felt like something was missing. Instead of settling into a routine of watching TV all day, she started tutoring kids at a local library. Not only did she find joy in teaching again, but she also built relationships with people of all ages. What does this tell us? Giving back is one of the best ways to find fulfillment. Finally, enjoying life. This might sound simple, but many people struggle with it. They think, I should be productive, or I need to stay busy. But enjoying life is about more than just filling time. It is about experiencing joy, being present, and appreciating the little things. Travel if you can, spend time in nature, pick up a hobby just for fun without worrying about being good at it, laugh more, call an old friend, enjoy your morning coffee slowly rather than rushing through it. Purpose does not have to be complicated, it just has to be something that gives you energy and meaning. So let me ask you this: if you could wake up tomorrow and do anything you wanted, without worrying about money or responsibilities, what would it be? Whatever came to your mind, start there, explore it, try new things. Because life after 60 is not about fading into the background, it is about embracing what makes you feel alive. Think about this. Have you ever met someone who seemed to come alive when they talked about something they loved? Maybe it was their work, their hobby, or something they deeply cared about. That is because passion and purpose go hand in hand. You do not have to find one big mission in life. The purpose is about doing what makes you feel engaged. Some people find it in creating, others in helping, and some in simply enjoying the moment. The key is to keep moving forward. The more you explore, the more you discover what truly matters to you. Life does not end at retirement, it begins in a new way. So go out there and make it meaningful. Let's talk about something that is just as important as health or financial security: your mindset. Life does not get easier as you age, but here is the truth. How you think about aging will define how you experience it. You can see it as a time of loss, decline, and limitations, or you can see it as an opportunity for growth, wisdom, and new beginnings. Your mindset is everything. Think about two people, both in their 70s. One spends their days complaining about the past, talking about what they have lost, and fearing the future. The other wakes up with gratitude, embraces each day, and continues to learn and grow. Who do you think lives a better life? Studies show that people with a positive outlook on aging live longer, have better mental health, and even recover from illness faster. That is because your thoughts shape your reality. If you believe life after 60 is just about waiting for the end, then that is what it will feel like. But if you believe these years can be filled with purpose, connection, and joy, then that is exactly what you will create. So how do you build a resilient and positive mindset? Let's break it down into 3 key areas: gratitude, adaptability, and connection. First, gratitude. It is easy to focus on what is missing: the youth, the energy, the people who are no longer around. But shifting your focus to what you still have can change everything. Take a moment right now. Think about 3 things you are grateful for. It could be your health, your family, or the simple joy of a good cup of coffee. When you train your mind to look for the good, you start to see more of it. Next is adaptability. Change is the only constant in life. Your body changes, your relationships change. Your daily routine changes. The people who thrive are the ones who learn to adapt rather than resist. There is a story about a woman named Margaret. At 70, she lost her husband, and it felt like her world was ending. For months she struggled, feeling lost and unsure of what to do, but then she made a choice. She started saying yes to new experiences, taking a dance class, joining a local community group, even traveling on her own for the first time. Little by little, she rebuilt her life, not by clinging to the past, but by embracing the present. That is what adaptability looks like. Life will throw challenges at you, but your response is what matters most. Finally, connection. Isolation is one of the biggest risks to mental health as you age. Having people to talk to, laugh with, and share experiences with makes all the difference. You do not need a huge social circle, but you do need people who lift you. Maybe it is an old friend you call once a week. Maybe it is a new friend you made through a shared hobby. Maybe it is simply getting to know your neighbors. The key is to stay engaged with the world around you. So where do you start? Begin with small steps. Start a gratitude journal. Try something new, even if it scares you. Reach out to someone you have lost touch with. Aging is not about what you have lost. It is about what you choose to do with the time you have. So let me ask you this: how will you choose to see your future? Think about this. Have you ever met someone who seemed to become happier as they aged? They did not let life's hardships define them. They kept moving forward, learning, growing, and adapting. The reason? They understood that their mindset was their greatest tool. A positive, resilient mindset is not something you are born with. It is something you build, and the more you practice it, the stronger it gets. Life is short, but it is also full of possibilities. How you choose to see it will determine how you live it. Let's talk about something that many people don't think about until it's too late: relationships and community. After 60, something shifts. The people you once spent time with may not be around as much. Your children have their own lives. Your colleagues from work are no longer part of your daily routine, and some friends may have moved away or even passed on. The truth is that loneliness is one of the biggest threats to happiness and health as you age. And it is not just about feeling alone. Studies show that social isolation increases the risk of heart disease, dementia, and even early death. Human beings are wired for connection, and without it, we suffer, not just emotionally but physically as well. So, what can you do? How do you build a strong support system in your later years? It comes down to three key things: maintaining old connections, creating new ones, and being intentional about your social life. First, let's talk about old connections. Many people drift apart from friends and family over the years, not because of a falling out, but simply because life gets busy. But here's the thing, it is never too late to reconnect. A simple phone call, a message, or even an invitation to meet for coffee can reignite old friendships. Think about someone you haven't spoken to in a while. Maybe it's an old neighbor, a childhood friend, or a former colleague. Reach out to them. You might be surprised at how much they appreciate hearing from you. Next, creating new connections. This might sound difficult, especially if you are an introvert or if making new friends has never been easy for you. But remember, you are not alone in this. There are many people just like you, looking for companionship, conversation, and a sense of belonging. Join a club, take a class, volunteer in your community. The key is to put yourself in situations where you can meet like-minded people. It might feel uncomfortable at first, but relationships take time to build. The more you show up, the more connections you will create. Now, let's talk about being intentional. Building a strong community does not happen by accident. You have to make an effort. Make socializing a priority. Schedule regular meetups. Reach out to people. And say yes to invitations, even when you don't feel like it. A man named Richard learned this the hard way. After retiring, he found himself spending most of his days alone, watching TV and feeling disconnected. One day he decided to join a local walking group. At first it was just about getting exercise, but over time he formed genuine friendships. Those walks turned into coffee meetups, then group dinners. Before he knew it, he had built a new support system. The lesson? You have to put yourself out there. Friendships and connections don't just happen, you have to create them. So, where do you start? Think of one person you can reconnect with this week. Then think of one activity you can join to meet new people. Relationships are what make life meaningful. Make sure you have the right people around you. Think about this. Have you ever noticed how much better you feel after a good conversation with someone who understands you? That is because relationships are what keep us grounded. They remind us that we are not alone in this journey. You do not need dozens of friends to be happy. A few strong, meaningful relationships can make all the difference. The key is to invest in them. So, pick up the phone, send that message, make the effort. Because at the end of the day, the quality of your relationships will define the quality of your life.
Let's be real. No one prepares you for this stage of life. You spend years working, raising a family, doing what you are supposed to do. Then, one day you wake up and everything looks different. Your body feels different, your daily routine changes. The people you once relied on may not be around in the same way anymore. It can be unsettling. But here is the hard truth. No one is coming to save you. Your kids, they love you, but they have their own lives. Society, it is not designed to make aging easy. So what does that mean? It means if you want a stable, fulfilling, and independent life after 60, you have to build it yourself. And the good news is you can. The 5 pillars we have talked about, your health, financial security, purpose, mindset, and relationships, are not just suggestions. They are the foundation of a good life. You do not want to be the person who wakes up one day realizing it is too late to fix what could have been avoided. You want to be the person who takes control now, who makes the choices today that will lead to a better future tomorrow. So ask yourself, which of these pillars do you need to work on the most? Is it your health, your finances, your social life? Whatever it is, start now. Small steps lead to big changes. Because at the end of the day, the quality of your later years will not be determined by luck. It will be determined by what you do today. The choice is yours. Think about this. Have you ever met someone who planned and built a strong foundation for their later years? They stay active, have financial security, and surround themselves with a good support system. They are not just surviving, they are thriving. That does not happen by accident. It happens because they made intentional choices long before they needed to. You have the same opportunity, but it starts with one decision to take action today.
So here we are. We have talked about the 5 pillars that can shape your future: your health, your finances, your purpose, your mindset, and your relationships. But now comes the real question. What are you going to do about it? Because here is the truth. Knowledge is useless if you do not act on it. Too many people sit back thinking, I will start tomorrow, or I have time. But time does not wait. The choices you make today are shaping your future, whether you realize it or not. Think about someone you know who is thriving in their later years. They are healthy, financially stable, engaged in life, and surrounded by good people. Do you think they got there by accident? No. They made decisions, big and small, that led them to that place. And you can do the same. If your health needs work, start by making one small change. Take a walk, drink more water, and improve your sleep. If your finances are not where you want them to be, take control. Review your spending, create a budget, and find ways to secure your future. If you feel lost or lacking purpose, explore something new. Learn, give back, and engage with the world in a way that excites you. Your future is in your hands. The best time to start was yesterday. The second best time is right now. So what is the one thing you can do today that your future self will thank you for? Whatever it is, do it. Because the life you want at 60, 70, or 80 does not happen by chance. It happens by choice. The choice is yours. Think about this. Imagine yourself 10 years from now. Will you look back and be proud of the actions you took today, or will you wish you had started sooner? Your decisions today create your reality tomorrow. Do not wait for the perfect moment. Start now. No matter how small the step, your future self is counting on you.